Hey, what's going on? I'm Darren Criss, and welcome to ESB Exclusives. This is a first for me. This is very exciting. Empire State Building, you're getting all the exclusive stuff. It's a beautiful building.
Oh, thank you.
I love this building. This is amazing. Let's go.
Thank you. We're iconic. So what initially drew
By the
you-
way, I know that
Yes.
that is an adjective that is used very loosely these days. This is legitimately an iconic
Yes.
building. So.
That's like the term that we like to describe this building
But it
as.
actually fits, so that's very cool that you get to say that. So
Thank you.
Continue.
Okay. So what initially drew you to the story of Maybe Happy Ending?
Have you seen the show?
Not yet, no.
It's all right. It's okay. Something to look forward to.
Yes.
Hopefully, some of the things that you'll like about it, or that you'll resonate, hopefully, ideally resonate with, would be my answers to the show. But just on paper, if you're a Broadway fan, the director of the show is an old pal of mine by the name of Michael Arden, and I was available, and I got to work with a friend, and that was just the coolest thing that I could do just as a base level starting point. However, it has since then exponentially grown more and more and more and more exciting and invigorating and fulfilling to a degree that I could not have imagined. So this whole experience has been a polite reminder of how following your heart and doing something fun that you believe in is a zero-loss game. Because even if it hadn't caught on, if I didn't get to come to the Empire State Building and talk to folks like yourself about it, I still would have thought it was something fun and beautiful. So we're all good. But because people have also enjoyed the show as much as I have just being on the inside, there are a lot of special things about the show that I think are much bigger than just doing a show on Broadway with a bit of dazzle and a bit of music. There is a joy and a resilience and a hope that it offers a pretty fractured universe, and I think being part of something like that is an extraordinary privilege.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I especially like just seeing shows on Broadway that have that kind of impact on
Yeah,
audiences.
to me, it's much bigger than myself. It's much bigger than just a show.
Yeah.
Which, having a show that people like is one thing. You walk away with something far more profound and enduring, and so getting to service that is, again, such a privilege.
So can you tell us about your character and how you prepared for this role?
I play Oliver, who is a Model 3 in a world of helper bots. So that's like I'm an iPhone 4 in a world of now iPhone whatever number we're at.
Yeah.
And much like smart devices, smartphones, home smart technology, they do become obsolete. Not too dissimilar from the construct of human beings. We all have battery life, shelf life. Yeah. Our own operating systems can be somewhat outdated after a certain amount of time. So it's a delicious metaphor. But I am a helper bot that is, shall we say, put away. And I don't know about you guys, but if you have any, maybe you're watching this on an outdated piece of technology that you keep holding on to for somewhat, Thomas is nodding his head, somewhat irrational but somehow emotionally rational reasons, like old phones that you keep in your drawer. So I am that iPhone that's kind of put in that drawer, and I've made a decision to go and get out of the drawer and find my owner. This is a kind of wacky metaphor, but I'm playing an outdated helper bot that decides to go on an adventure or gets sort of cajoled into an adventure to go find a former owner by the helper bot next door, and thus the adventure begins.
How did you step into that role?
They put me in clothes, they put me in makeup, and I just say lines they give me, and I sing notes they tell me about, and then I just kind of follow the treasure map. There's a lot of things physically that's going on with this character that is taken from a lot of really, dare I say, somewhat esoteric theater, drama school things. It's a lot of commedia dell'arte, a lot of European clown, a lot of Japanese theater, a lot of kabuki, and a lot of stock characters. But it's kind of a cocktail of a lot of those traditions, and I pull a lot from animated films and from the way that animated characters express themselves, because you could argue that animated films, there's a sort of an over-expressiveness that makes sense within the construct of an animated movie, but if you saw a human being do it, you'd be like, this guy's like overacting. So I guess to answer your question as quickly as I can, which is not how I usually do these things, Everything about Oliver is what you do see. There's no subtext in contemporary American acting. It's usually about what you don't see. This is everything you do see. So I'm employing a lot of those conventions that you see in animated films, which are such a wonderful way to display and transmit kind of heightened emotions, because he's not human. So he's trying to copy and synthesize human-like things in the way that you teach like a baby, like happy, sad, like surprised.
He's trying to discover all those
Yeah,
things.
they're programmed like ones and zeros, so they're very heightened. They're not subtle.
So maybe Happy Ending is set in the future. How do you think the story reflects on issues and questions relevant to today?
Well, the very idea of technology being so ingrained in our day-to-day life is not a foreign concept, and it's not, I think, even words like AI, which I think other than sci-fi enthusiasts like maybe 10 to 15 years ago, a large part of the population wouldn't really be familiar with what exactly that is, but now it's so, it's the Wild West of it, and it is now being part of the sort of mainstream cultural fabric and conversation. So, I think people can ingest the potential idea of technology existing in this sort of more humanoid fashion in a more pragmatic sense than we used to, where it was just relegated to like Terminator and Blade Runner and all these wonderful,
very intense
sort of
worlds.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it does kind of exist already. Again, like our smartphones are our helper bots on many levels. So, I'd like to say that a lot of that stuff isn't really what the show is talking about. I think we incorporate a lot of ideas as a way to have people jump on board with the thematic element of what the show is about, which is, this is a show about living things, about being human, and I think it's a funny sort of trick up our sleeve that it's so deliriously human. It's just that we displace that construct by the metaphor of it being about robots figuring things out, because we're robots trying to figure things out. And back to all the animated films that are so beloved by so many people, one of the great things that those films accomplish is the ability to have the human audience step up to the plate and do the work of the human experience, because I've cried more and invested myself more into the trials and tribulations of two lost toys, or a lion prince, or a coming-of-age deer in the forest. Like, I rise to the occasion of what they're going through, because they're not human beings. So they're not crying, they're not going, wow, it's crazy growing up, it's crazy coming of age, it's crazy coming to grips with, all these sort of themes that we go through. It's much more thought-provoking when it's not a human doing it. My joke about the show is, if I said, hey, come see my musical comedy about two people in hospice breaking out, you'd be like, what? Whoa.
A musical?
That's a little heavy. But in a twisted sort of way, there's elements of that, because it's two people at the end of their life cycle who have been put away from society, and their decision to break back into it. There's a lot of parallels there, but you're like, I don't want to see that show. That's really depressing.
So how do you feel this production stands out in comparison to other works you've been part of?
Oh, it is easily. I've done some really amazing, cool things that I'm so grateful for, and this isn't they're not in competition with each other by any means. So if I say one thing about one thing, it's not to minimize the amazingness of the other. But I will say this is easily the most remarkable and singular things that I've ever been a part of, easily. If we're talking about Broadway specifically, I've never originated a role on Broadway. I've only stepped in for shows that already had a proud and tried and true history, and would have continued to be beloved and would succeed without my involvement. So to have something new is kind of scary, but the dividends on this, the risk reward has been so high, because what I've realized is audiences are coming in completely free from the chains of comparison and expectation, and they're completely unencumbered, and like I said, they're dilated for a new experience. And in this world of, whether you know everything about theater and you've seen everything, and you got your arms full of being like, expecting something, or you don't know anything about theater, this is a piece that is for everybody. And that is a new experience for me, and such a gift to not only myself, but the people in my life that I know and love, and the people in my life that I have never met and have yet to. So that is why this is such a a singular, remarkable thing to offer, and a wildly original show. Not based on anything but itself. Okay, then we're done.
Amazing.
I got excited.
Well, that's it for our interview.
That was me
today.
just selling you on the show. You got to come see.
Hey, I'm going.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was amazing. Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much.